From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Good evening, everyone. Well, we're still expected to see those summer-like temperatures here through the weekend, even into at least the middle of next week. But I do expect improving conditions when we're talking about that fire weather risk here. Possible mountain showers and thunderstorms, especially by the second half of the weekend and into early next week. And we're also looking at a cooling trend, but it's still going to be a while before it gets here, if it indeed even materializes, and we'll talk about that here in just a bit. But let's take a look at Krueger's Quick Cast for your Wednesday, June 4th, and tonight should be cooler, especially for the north end of the valley, where it's not going to be as windy as it was this morning. So as a result, temperatures will be a bit cooler, although still a bit breezy on the west side of the valley, so that may create some warmer temperatures here as we go into tomorrow morning. Out the door tomorrow morning in the valley, you're talking temperatures right around 70, and we're talking 50s and even some 60s for the coast and for the higher elevations, but really no big changes from what we've seen here. Still have this broad ridge of high pressure. That's what's giving us the hot temperatures, the mainly clear skies as well. And when we look at the winds, as I mentioned, they are still going to be a bit breezy here for tomorrow morning here on the west side of the valley. That's 8 a.m. By Thursday afternoon, they do subside, although a bit breezy to the east and still some breezy conditions out towards especially Del Norte County. So this evening, you see some of the fog that we are seeing there at Humboldt Bay. And then along the Highway 101 corridor, that continues overnight and into tomorrow morning. But that should burn off by the second half of the day, really through the morning. And we're just seeing some afternoon, what we call the convective clouds develop in the afternoon. You see it typically in the summer, right? You look off in the mountains, you see the puffy cumulus clouds. That's essentially what we're looking at here. But at this point, I'm not anticipating much in the way of rain, if anything. You know, maybe a light sprinkle in Lassen or Plumas counties, but that would be the extent of it. So yeah, another warm day, but we're still dodging the triple digits once again here for the valley tomorrow. Temperatures in the 80s to the north and east of the valley, but west of the valley, low 90s. And then for the coast, you're talking temperatures in the low to mid 60s. So once we get back up to 100 degrees for Redding, it stays that way, give or take here, all the way through the middle of next week. And that's pretty much the case for Red Bluff as well. Chico, you're closer to the upper 90s here over the next 7 days. We take a look at the coast, mid 60s, give or take. The inland areas, we see an increase, but then we see a nice little dip as we go into Wednesday and especially towards the end of next week. We take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. You see the chance for showers and thunderstorms that we do have. Those are some of the better chances that I've seen here over the last few days. Although, you know, especially out towards, say, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, if we see a stray sprinkle or a light shower over the next 3 days, it's not out of the question, but I think we've got those better chances coming in by the second half of the weekend. All right, that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. You know, there's a 24-hour streaming channel that's available to you anywhere Weather NorCal is available. WeatherNorCal.com, the free Weather NorCal app, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. Just download those apps there on those devices. Search for Weather NorCal. And any smart device, including your TV, that's a smart TV connected to the internet, YouTube. Simple as that. You can watch the 24-hour streaming channel, and the YouTube app allows you to watch the latest video forecast as well. Pretty cool. All right, so once again, we got to go into our deeper dive forecast now, and we're talking about this ridge of high pressure, broad ridge, that will be building, getting stronger over the next few days, especially over the weekend, and that's when we expect hotter temperatures. But let's take a look at the fire weather forecast here. And we're going to start off with the winds as we typically do. And as mentioned earlier, yes, we've got those gusty winds still a little bit. But I will say this, even though they're going to be strong on the west of I-5, it won't be as strong as they were this morning. And then you can see overall, not that bad for the valley and more of a south wind, a bit breezy off to the east and a bit breezy out towards Del Norte County. Then we go into your Thursday night and into Friday morning. Look at this, fairly calm winds really across the board and not even that bad here for the coast. They pick up a little bit in the afternoon as we'd expect, but still below 15 miles per hour for the valley and still a bit breezy out towards Crescent City and down to the south and east. So orange means it's a high fire weather risk. That's where we were today. But by tomorrow, check this out. First of all, you can see this little spike right here. That's still in that moderate range. The reason that's elevated is, again, because we've got those winds that are fairly strong west of the valley tomorrow morning. But by tomorrow afternoon, you're mainly looking at yellows indicating the moderate fire weather risk, and you've got those humidity levels around 10%, give or take. Now by Friday morning, it's all green really, meaning low fire weather risk for Friday morning, and Friday afternoon still in that moderate range and still about 10% with that relative humidity for the valley. Now, as far as any showers or thunderstorms are concerned, I don't think it's going to happen here as we take you into your Thursday. Let's take a look at that on Futurecast here. So once again, we've got that fog along the coast here for tomorrow morning. We're still looking at dry conditions elsewhere. Now, you see the afternoon convection with the clouds, but not much in the way of rain, if any. As mentioned, maybe, if anything, it would be, say, around Lassen or maybe even Plumas counties. Then we go into your Friday morning. And there you can see some of the fog trying to develop here along the coast here. This is through midday on Friday. You can see really not even seeing much afternoon convection either. So I do expect to maybe see some clouds, but once again, mainly dry on Friday for the mountains. So there's the breezy setup that we saw today. Now those winds are subsiding over the next few days, which is very good news. Then this ridge of high pressure builds over us over the weekend. Temperatures increase as a result. And then this will slowly push off to the east. Now, we still have a lot of warm air in place, but this cooler air is what's going to be moving in possibly to our north by the end of next week, and that may allow our temperatures to drop a bit. As you can see here, as I was mentioning around Reading, for example, it's going to be around 100 degrees, maybe a little bit higher than that through Wednesday. And then we start to see those temperatures begin to drop as some of that cooler air tries to move on in. So fingers crossed that actually materializes, because it certainly would be nice to be around 90 instead of 100, right? I mean, it's still warm, but at least it's not 100 degrees. All right, so there you can see those wave heights, especially as you go into your Friday. We're really starting to see those wave heights begin to drop. So certainly some better conditions out there if you need to be on a small boat. All right, your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, mainly in the 90s, although south of 299, some upper 70s, low to mid 80s. You're talking 60s for the coast as usual. 73 for Blue Lake, 85 out in Garberville, and 86 for Alder Point. 90 for a high in Orleans, 91 for Hoopa, and there's Willow Creek at about 94, and Smith River about 82. There's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mainly in the 80s, pretty much mid 80s, give or take. 91 for Happy Camp, though. 80 for Doris and Tennant, about 80 degrees. And there's that slight chance for thunderstorms, afternoon thunderstorms for parts of Siskiyou County Sunday and into Monday. And then for Modoc County, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, those chances may begin to diminish going into your Wednesday. Same situation for the eastern mountains here. Temperatures increasing, though, in the low to even some mid-90s as we do go into the weekend. Your valley neighborhood forecast to the south, temperatures mainly in the low to mid-90s. So yeah, we're seeing those temperatures drop southward. And as you can see, the 7-day forecast for Chico, we're back up to 97 Friday, back up upper 90s to around 100 degrees over the weekend, and then we see a slight dip by Wednesday and especially Thursday of next week. Temperatures mainly upper 90s, though, from Red Bluff northward. So yeah, we're dodging the triple digits at least, but we're back up to about 100 degrees by Friday and about 100 degrees here for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And the 7-day forecast for Reading, yeah, we're topping out at about 103 by Saturday, and then temperatures slowly dip, but still just kind of hovering around that 100-degree mark at least through Wednesday, hoping to see that cooler weather. And when I say cooler, more like the 90s by the time we get into Thursday and Friday of next week. That's your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great night.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.